Is Treyarch done with Modern Warfare Zombies? Over the last week or two online, there's been a lot of discussion on if Treyarch, no longer developing content for Modern Warfare Zombies and other COD studios, and now leading the development on the seasonal content. With the recent reveal of Season 2 and the lack of any new content on the launch of Season 2 in a zombies-themed season no less, and the main content not coming until the Reloaded update, this discussion has been more relevant than ever before. Now, none of this has been stated by Activision as fact, but there has been a lot of evidence that people have noticed recently to suggest this might be the case. So in this video, I want to discuss this topic in its entirety. We're going to be completely civilized and we're going to come to logical conclusions. None of this is insider information, so don't take it as fact, but I think it's an interesting conversation that we can have. So this discussion first started online back when Season 1 Reloaded launched, where quite clearly the update didn't contain a lot of content whatsoever, and fans were rightfully disappointed. Later that day, Treyarch tweeted about a free gift to all players as part of the update, but the wording of the tweet worried people, and it's this, saying Modern Warfare Zombies has been a blast, where the wording has been is quite worrying as you associate that word with something that's referring to something being finished, and it can't be finished because we're only at Season 2. Rightfully, people on Twitter are starting to question what that wording is all about, and there was never a follow-up from Treyarch on why they referred to it as has been a blast. A month prior, the Call of Duty general manager was stating that Modern Warfare Zombies is probably the best rated third mode in a decade. So for that wording to sound like Treyarch has given up on the mode is kind of weird. That wording is definitely confusing. But then we got the biggest drop of evidence yet that it's not Treyarch creating the future seasonal content for Modern Warfare Zombies. We had a tweet from associate game designer at Infinity Ward tweeting, "Just wanted to say we are cooking for Season 2 MWZ content." And that was tweeted on the 20th of January. Now, at first, without any prior knowledge, it is really weird to see an Infinity Ward developer tweeting about creating Modern Warfare Zombies content. And it's a little stranger to see this when the main Zombies mode was created by Treyarch in collaboration with High Moon Studios and Sledgehammer Games. And that's the first indication that a different studio is creating the seasonal post-launch content for the game. Now, I blurred the developers app because they've been getting a lot of hate on Twitter. And whilst there is absolutely nothing wrong with expressing your opinion, there is a big difference between being constructive with your criticism and then just full-on attacking people personally. And I don't think that's a cool thing to do. There were further tweets from the developer to say that working on Zombies was a dream of his growing up, and it's insane to see this finally making a reveal. So regardless of your opinion on the content itself, I'm still grateful that we're getting any content at all, and clearly the content was made with passion, and that's all we can really ask for. The only negative to take is that the content isn't here for Season 2's launch, and of course it's a shame to see that, but we're still getting the content. It's not like it's been cancelled or postponed. It just needs a little bit more time in the oven, and we're still gonna get the content during Season 2. We're just gonna have to wait a little longer for it. But that had to have been an executive decision, which is not at all the IW devs' fault, and I'm sure the entire Zombies team didn't want this content to be delayed. They'd want to get it out for the Season 2 update, but on this occasion, the timing just didn't seem to match up. Furthermore, it sounds like the Season 2 content sounds very similar to Season 1 in terms of there being some sort of hidden Easter egg quest in order to activate a new rift for a new Dark Ether area play space, which I think is pretty cool. Again, not as cool because we've seen it before already, but it's technically a new play space, and that's pretty awesome. Developer followed up to say that he also created the new schematic, the Mags of Holding, which further implies that Infinity Ward had a lot of control on the development of the seasonal content. Now, the closest that we'll get to an official source on this sort of thing is CharlieIntel, who tweeted that it's disappointing that Zombies is not getting anything for the launch, and that they've seen reports, which they've heard as well, that High Moon Studios recently took over development of Modern Warfare Zombies as Treyarch works on COD 2024. As I just stated, High Moon Studios created this mode with Treyarch and Sledgehammer Games. So if this is true, judging by CharlieIntel is likely, then this isn't necessarily a doomsday scenario. The report mentions High Moon taking over development when they literally helped develop the actual mode from the ground up. They literally created it as well as Treyarch. And in the grand scheme of Call of Duty development, we need to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. At the end of this year, Treyarch are releasing the next Black Ops game, Call of Duty 2024. It's going to be absolutely huge and is rumored to be a fully round-based zombies map game. Now, I have no experience in games development, but even I can realize that it is extremely difficult to juggle the live service support of Modern Warfare Zombies whilst also actively developing for your own game that's coming out at the end of the year. But then there's also rumors that there is another Black Ops game coming at the end of 2025, and I can't see a reality where Treyarch isn't the lead developers on a Black Ops game, as hard to believe as the rumor is that we're getting 2 Black Ops games back to back. But if Treyarch are stepping back from actively developing Modern Warfare Zombies seasonal content, then I'd rather them be focusing on making sure that the round-based zombies we get at the end of the year is going to be absolutely fantastic. And it's not exactly like we aren't getting Modern Warfare Zombies content, because we clearly are. Infinity Ward 100% worked on the upcoming season. They're probably working on the other seasons along with High Moon Studios if that rumor is true. But regardless if Treyarch are still actively developing the seasonal content or if they're not, again, I don't work in games development, but logically Treyarch need to still be overseeing everything. It's their zombies mode at the end of the day, with their narrative, their story. It is literally Treyarch Zombies from head to toe in a different style of gameplay. There is 0% chance that the future seasonal content isn't entirely overseen by Treyarch. Everything we see and play in Call of Duty has always been planned and developed a long time in advance. So the majority of things that we're seeing with Season 2 and we'll see in the future was probably planned a long time ago. That doesn't mean that there isn't still time for new things to be added and changed, but realistically, it just seems like Treyarch has way too much on their plate right now to be updating Modern Warfare Zombies as regularly as we all hoped and expected, when considering that this zombies mode is a live service game. Now, obviously, as a fan of this mode, if you hear that suddenly Treyarch are no longer working on it and other studios are, especially when we're only at Season 2 of Modern Warfare 3, we're not at Season 4 or Season 5, we are only at Season 2, that obviously sounds pretty scary. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean that there isn't content coming, because there clearly is still a full seasonal roadmap for Seasons 1 to 5 of Zombies content that has likely all been decided by Treyarch, but it's just other studios that are creating it. So with all those facts, I don't see how it's possible for people to say that the Zombies mode is already over or that it's already dead, because it just straight up isn't. You can go and play it right now and it's still a really solid experience. The only problem is if you're a player like me who has completed absolutely everything at this point, there isn't anything else for me to do in the game that will offer more replayability. And that's what Season 2 Reloaded will bring. It's just a frustrating situation that we have to wait so long for it after waiting since December for any new updates. And it's very likely that we'll be getting a full-on Black Ops game at the end of the year with brand new round-based zombies. So this is by no means any sort of doomsday scenario that's even remotely similar to what we saw with Vanguard Zombies, because it was a awfully designed mode at its core. And when that season ended, we knew that we had the biggest wait for the next Zombies game in so many years. But I think why this discussion has such passionate opinions is because, unlike Vanguard, Modern Warfare Zombies is actually a great game mode, and it has so much potential to be even better than it already is. But the one downside to it is that it's a live service game mode, and if it's not going to get the frequent updates that a live service game needs, then it's unclear if it will ever reach the potential heights that it can get to. Now, we could all be proven so wrong with the other studios creating the following seasons, and we could be blown away at what we get in Season 3 or Season 4. And you can call me hyper optimistic or just breathing on that copium, but that's how I feel. Now, do I think it's disappointing that a zombies themed season has pretty much none of the cool stuff inside of the zombies mode? Of course. Like I said, I think it goes back to games development, where all of this stuff was planned so far in advance that the plans for a zombies themed season might not have been conceptualized at the same time, where the zombies content would have aligned timing wise with how the actual main multiplayer and Warzone season was planned. There could have been a bunch of different things. Again, I have no idea about video game development, but I obviously do think it is a massive shame that the zombies mode didn't get anything to tie in with this season, and especially with the Walking Dead collaboration, something which COD Zombies fans would have dreamt of having back in the days of Black Ops 2, being able to play as the Walking Dead and zombies, that obviously sucks. But going back to the topic of this being a live service game, this is the first zombies mode in history that has been a live service. And up until now, and especially with what we've just been revealed for the Season 2 Reloaded content, there just isn't enough content updates in this live service game for it to be like a live service. And it's a shame because the passion from us fans comes from the fact that the mode fundamentally is incredibly fun to play. And we just want more things to do. We want to see this thing thrive and become its own beast that has a ton of replay value and can sit alongside round-based zombies as a genuine good zombies mode to play. But for it to be that as a live service game mode, it needs to be continuously updated, which I just don't think is possible when Treyarch are juggling so much. Season 2 Reloaded just sets the precedent that the only thing we're going to get every season is the same rinse and repeat, a new story mission in a new Dark Ether area, and that's about it. But again, that's just how it looks right now. Again, we could be very surprised with what they do for Season 3 or Season 4, but another topic is that when you hear Infinity Ward is developing the seasonal content, some people are immediately worried the influence the studios might have on certain direction and design of the zombies updates, especially when you consider that Infinity Ward created DMZ, and this mode is heavily built off the groundworks of DMZ. We've seen rumors of PvPvE coming to this game mode, which is essentially what DMZ was, but I think that's more likely to be the Fortune's Keep Zombies contract and Battle Royale. But when it comes to leaked features coming to MWZ, there has been an exfil streak system and a wallet leak, which is exactly the same features that DMZ got during its seasonal updates. And those were exciting brand new features never seen before in a Call of Duty game, but seeing those things reused and added on as time goes on, just like with DMZ, just feels like really wasted potential for what could be done inside of MWZ. So is Treyarch done with Modern Warfare Zombies? I mean, from what CharlieIntel have said, it sounds like they are no longer leading the active development on the seasonal content, but logically it is impossible for Treyarch to not be overseeing everything that comes to the mode between now and the end of Modern Warfare 3. It is their game mode, and we're still getting content for the mode. It's not like Treyarch have dropped full support and there isn't any new content coming anymore. We're getting a decent amount of new content with Season 2 Reloaded, and we're very likely to get a similar cadence of new content every season that's similar to what we're getting this season. And I'm excited for the new content when it drops because I've been waiting so long for something new to do in the game. But I'd love to know what you think about this all in the comment section below, and what your thoughts are on the Season 2 Zombies content and the topic in general on Treyarch being done with the game.